Avoidant attachment. It's not real.
Oh, for God's sake.
It's a made-up term.
As an avoidant, I can tell you this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I don't care what adjective you put in front of the word avoidant. Anxious, fearful, dismissive, it's a bunch of malarkey.
No, it's one of the 4 attachment styles that explains the psychological pattern of behavior, and it's a result of someone's early childhood development and nervous system responses. Everyone has an attachment style. Why do you reject that avoidant is one?
What it really is a coping mechanism to help people with low self-esteem cognitively digest why someone just doesn't like them.
No. I mean, you are right in saying it's a coping mechanism, but it's a coping mechanism for the avoidant, not the avoidance partner. By the way, since it's a coping mechanism, that means it's real, not fake.
Now, why do we know this is nonsensical?
You don't, because it's not.
Because pair bonding and monogamy are part of the human condition. True happiness is indeed shared.
Yes, it is, and the book attached actually affirms this. On page 110, it references the lonesome traveller, an avoidant named Chris McCandless. I won't tell the whole story, but he learns that very lesson. And in the days before he dies, he makes one final entry, and in his journal writes those exact words. We know happiness is only real when shared. But why does that mean avoidant attachment isn't real?
For example, no woman ever told Channing Tatum of such an impairment, nor did any man tell Miss Universe of this kind of suffering.
First of all, monogamy is a social agreement, whereas attachment is how the brain handles safety. It shows up in all relationship types, like non-monogamous, single life, with friendships, with work colleagues. It's not a reaction to individual people they're not interested in. It's a blueprint ingrained into their nervous system for how they deal with intimacy. Someone who's just not interested in you typically just leaves. They wouldn't send mixed signals like avoidants do. They wouldn't pull away and come back like avoidants do. And avoidance can be intense early on because it's safe, but as the emotional pressure builds, then they pull away. Not out of uninterest, but because it triggers their fear of intimacy, which they have been taught is dangerous.
Even if you do believe in avoidant attachment,
I don't believe in it, no. I can show it, demonstrate it, prove it, even to you.
why are you tolerating this kind of behavior? That's the real question to be asked.
Well, it's certainly better than questioning if it's real.
Someone isn't giving back to you, is treating you improperly and making you feel like crap. Is this why you're in your relationship? To have your dignity violated?
Granted, the emotional neglect is not okay, but I think it's important to understand why this happens and understand that this isn't a conscious thing. Because when they were younger, they were taught that vulnerability equals danger, so their nervous system takes over in order to protect them. This is something that takes time and practice to unlearn. I'm not saying anyone should just learn to live with that, but I am saying it should take patience from both sides. You can't hold someone who's avoidant or anxious or disorganized to the same standard as you would a secure person. If you are willing, and you may not be, which is fair enough, but if you are, both sides need to adjust to the other in order to help the avoidant heal.
I rest my case.
You don't have a case.
Oh, what's that? You think you can fix it? This will surely lead to your own romantic demise. So stop listening to people in higher education.
Yeah, why would you listen to anyone who's better educated than you on this? Who cares what the science of attachment says? Who cares what the facts are? Who cares that during moments of emotional closeness, that avoidance, through brain scans and heart rates, showed that they suffered emotional distress? Who cares about the cited studies? Who cares about the decades of research that people like Ainsworth and John Bowlby have put in? Let's just pretend like none of that and more matters, just so you can pretend to be smarter than the people who are better educated than you.
Who never dated anyone.
Oh, didn't they? Do you have evidence for that? Oh, no, thought not.
And have to write scholarly articles that nobody reads.
You don't read much, do you? It shows.
The point is, a lot of people call into my TikTok lives with this imaginary issue. What
Seriously, dude, read a book.
everyone simply needs to do is start focusing on people's actions. If the reciprocation of care is absent, meaning you are not being treated like you are treating them, it should cause you to withdraw, not continue.
Yes, if they are secure. If they're not, then like I said, patience, a bit more time to adapt for both people, because this isn't an easy overnight thing, and you are dealing with someone who wants the connection but ultimately is struggling with decades worth of an ingrained system that causes them to function in a certain way. I'm not saying you shouldn't walk away, I'm just saying it's important to consider all those things first. But also consider, is this something you have capacity for? And is it something they have capacity for? If they are not ready or they are unwilling to make changes, then yes, absolutely walk.
You. Just remember to always put yourself first, so then you can take care of others.
Yes, well, at least you're right about one thing.
And always allow people to show you who they really are.
You mean like how I just showed how clueless you are? Hope that helps. From your healing, fearful avoidant.